Hello friend, how is it going? Welcome back to Auto Resource YouTube channel. Here you can see 2009 Volkswagen Jetta equipped with 2.5 liter engine, 5-cylinder engine I purchased last week. And every single detail I learned about this vehicle is that it was not correctly serviced. There is zero service information, and what am I looking at? There was a very poor service. I saw immediately on the engine oil dipstick the oil was black, so I immediately performed engine oil and filter change, and it's filmed on this channel. And if you think about it, there are two very expensive components on the vehicle. It's the engine, and I took care of it, and the second one is transmission. This is equipped with automatic transmission. It doesn't have a dipstick, so I have no idea in what shape that fluid is. And I'm extremely concerned about that because the only similar generation Volkswagen I owned was also Jetta. It was 2007 Jetta, and that one at 150,000 miles had actually bad transmission. You can see that vehicle also on this channel. It was all filmed in the past. So what kind of automatic transmission is in this 2009 Jetta wagon? It has fully automatic electronic 6-speed transmission. It was made by Japanese company Aisin, and the model number for it is 09G. I will always value product like that very highly, and I will be never afraid that they will fail prematurely. However, I experienced it on that 07. It was not shifting correctly, and I sold the vehicle telling the owner what's the problem for basically $900, so that was a big loss. I would love to ask you to cross the fingers on your hands and toes on your feet for me, because today I will do the complete service, and today I'm going to learn what condition this transmission is. Basically what I'm saying, when I will drop that pan, check the magnets and the filter, I really hope there will be any large metal shavings. The transmission performs perfectly at this moment. It has 124,000 miles. It works flawlessly so far, so I want to do the preventative service and keep her running perfectly forever. If you approach the vehicle from the front, you will see perfectly dry engine oil pan. Now everything here is wet, including the transmission right here. There is a drip, but that's engine oil, and we already discussed that in different video, that is a vacuum pump engine oil leak. I already ordered the parts, and we will film it in different video when they will arrive. Today we will focus together on this transmission. Now this you can see perfectly the oil pan, transmission pan. Here is our drain plug, which includes that overflow tube. Here you can see actually the imprint. There will be two magnets, hopefully collecting only super fine shavings, and all around we will go with the bolts, rubber gasket, the spacers. I have the set ready for it. So let's start together with using that drain bolt and start draining the fluid. Normally I will drain that oil here in this caddy, but today I'm really curious. I want to evaluate that oil which is in the transmission, so I have perfectly clean catching pan. Number one reason for that was evaluating, looking if there are any metal shavings in the oil. Number two reason is I want to show you how much will come out of it, how much I will catch, so you can use that information for your own maintenance of this transmission. This bolt, you saw it, it's full of dirt, it's rusted, so I have to make sure this hex number 5 will really go all the way in. I help myself to tap it carefully inside so I don't strip it. So I don't know how hard it was torqued, if it was ever done, or this is being done actually first time. Let's see how much torque it will take to break it loose. I want to be careful. Oh yeah, did you hear that pop? It's exactly what I was talking about. I thought it will be like that. You have to always make sure that your tool fits all the way in and you don't strip that little drain plug. Here we have nicely that pen, and let's go for it. Let's see. I'm so stressed out about this because I really like this wagon. I would like to keep her for a while. It's very practical European design. I'm from Europe. I miss these vehicles here. I'm Toyota guy, right? I've serviced Toyotas. There's not anything like that used in Toyota range. It doesn't exist. And here I want to show you that initial situation, how it's coming out. So it's not very strong stream. I can see already it's black. It's a very dark red/black. And don't forget, one of the reasons why it's not really going strong out is because there is that overflow tube, which will be for adjusting the level. Now, the 09G, which is working together with this 2.5 liter 5-cylinder engine, the initial fill, the complete amount of transmission fluid on this is 7.1 US quarts, right? So we can say 7 quarts. There's no way we will get that out. Last time when I serviced that 07, it was approximately 3 US quarts or approximately 3 liters. After a few minutes, it stopped dripping and there is almost nothing in the pan. I will say less than quart. So let's continue. To continue with draining, you take the same tool, that hex 5, and you put it in. You feel it inside, and there is a plastic overflow tube. And look, it's nicely rotating. I will reposition my pan because more fluid will be coming very soon. Yep, this baby's coming out nicely, easy. There was no need for ratchet. These tubes are made of plastic. You cannot really crank on them, it will break. So look at it. This is that normal draining which we know from different transmissions which don't have this overflow little pipe, which will be helping us to correctly adjust the level inside of the tranny. After a couple of minutes, the drip is slowing to almost nothing. So we have yours, if you are doing the basic maintenance, we will have your amount right here in this kitchen pan. Also, we will see what condition it is. I'm bringing the big fella right now because we are going to drop the pan, and that will make a lot of mess. If you shop for your parts for this whole kit, you might see the description that it's 8 bolt pattern. That's correct. 10 millimeter bolts, and it's 8 of them. So I'm ready for the last one. Here we go. And I should be able put that lower pan in that catching plastic big pan. See, shouldn't be glued by any. That's unusual. Normally they come off pretty easily. I will do very, very careful and tiny tapping on one of the corners. Definitely never. You don't want to pry on the surface, which will be sealing later, because you will create definitely leak, and you will have a seepage or leakage from that pan later. So look, it was just old because nobody touched it forever. And it's black, guys. It is black. Here you can hopefully have a great picture on that valve body and the filter itself. We will be removing this filter very soon. Here is the pan on the bottom and the fluid which is still in it. As you can see, it's pretty dark. Here is finally a picture of the fluid which came out. So far I'm very hopeful, because on the bottom definitely I don't have any visible large shavings, because I keep moving that fluid. There's nothing left there. It's just super old and dark. That's fine. If the transmission had a serious problem inside, we will already see a shavings. That's at the bottom of the catching pan as we started, and this is the info. Right now we will read the number of fluid, the amount, which is for people who do their maintenance very often, who doesn't need to drop the pan and replace the filter. Let's say you will be changing your tranny fluid each 30,000 miles. This is what will come out. If you look on the left, it's in the quarts, and what came out is exactly so far 2.5 US quarts, which seems to be like a 2.3 liters. And let's continue with that pan and the gasket. Here we are, I will put it in. And now, thank you guys, crossing your fingers for me. I really need help. I really got burned on that last 2007 Jetta, and guess what? Thank you. Thank you so much. That's exactly what I needed to see. They're super fine shavings only on these magnets. And this is it. This was the crucial moment right now. We just discovered that this transmission is not bad. These magnets tells us absolutely everything. The fact they are covered with absolutely super fine micro shavings only, and there's not even much of those. The layer is barely 1 millimeter on each, or maybe even half millimeter of shavings only. Excellent, excellent news. I'm extremely happy. This, what we see right now, just made my day. I'm not kidding. This is excellent. I will go ahead and remove the gasket. Here is the detail of the pan. So it's drained. There could be way more residue on the bottom, sitting like a muddy. You see the number 1 magnet, number 2 magnet. I swept my finger over them, but really the collection of the metal shavings is minimal. You can see this is the drain port where we will be installing back that overflow pipe to set up later the transmission fluid level. This is the end of it, so it's always a little bit thicker because, as I said, that thick material always sits on the bottom. This is why it's good to remove the pan and remove the filter if you don't know when it was serviced. If the fluid coming really black dark, then you can make your choice. I don't want to just change the fluid. I will buy the set which comes with the filter, this rubber gasket and these metal inserts. That's all in that set. So here we are looking on the rest of the fluid. Just again for comparison, when I did this on the bad transmission, there were many relatively large metal flakes. You saw that silver. It was all collected here in the catching pan. So we can see already, this is excellent news. I love this. And the total is still less than 3 quarts. I will guesstimate it at 2.8 quarts and 2.7 maybe liters. This is all what we got out. That doesn't mean that the level was correct. We don't know who said it. So maybe it will need a little bit more, but so far it looks for us, if you had ready 3 US quarts to do very simple drain and refill, you will be actually perfectly fine. And this is actually what I will exactly do in the future. I will do the full service today, but again, we got 3 quarts out of 7. So I will drive it for maybe just 2 weeks, and I will do again drain and refill. And that way I will completely, if I do it 2 more times, I will completely replace that bad transmission fluid. I will always adjust the level, and I will cross fingers that that tranny can easily go another 80,000 miles or something like that. So let's go back to our valve body, exposed valve body, and the filter. We don't want to forget about it, because the filter was catching also those micro shavings. It's a very thin filter, and it's another 10 millimeter bolts. It's 3 of them. There's one more time towards to you. Hop. I will make sure I have the tool away, and I will be lowering that. And you see, that's why I put that tool away. There's still a little bit more of the fluid. Here is the filter itself. The detail look. This is that very thin mesh, the filtering part right inside. Here I will show you the last look on that valve body before we will install that new filter. I will never use any cleaners, degreasers, brake clean or whatever to try to spray this area and remove that absolute minimal old fluid. There's no reason for it. These are the new parts from the kit I bought. Here you can see the detail of those cork seals, which will squish and make the correct contact. You can see the screen. It's actually, you can see through because it's clean and brand new. Take a few moments more, but I always hand tie stuff. You saw me using power tool to remove it, but I will be not in so much rush to risk stripping some bolt or something like that. Unfortunately for you torque numbers hunters, I don't have the torque number. I will use the common sense, and I feel it's a small bolts, so you don't want to break anything, right? But you just don't want to leave it finger tight, so it will lose itself and lose its function. So carefully using small ratchet, snug. Now I will go ahead using shop towels. I will perfectly clean that whole pan and both magnets. Here is a little detail of that magnet. This is the second one, and as I said, this makes me happy because this is minimal. If you want to see what's the other extreme, I actually did film the metal shavings in the 2007 Jetta. It's on this channel. Here you can see perfectly clean the pan, ready for the new gasket. I decided we will install right now that overflow tube, so everybody can see visually how that adjustment of the fluid level in the pan works. I still have it on that tool. This is what we did. We basically unscrew it, right? So let's put it in. You will see actually where the level of the fluid will be in the future in the pan when it's installed in the vehicle. So hand tight, once again, it's a piece of plastic. It will be not moving anywhere, so hand tight carefully, don't break it. And look at this. Do you see how it's sticking there? So if you look with me, basically this is where the level will be. Here is that new gasket from that kit. I recommend to replace it because we don't want to have any seepage. That pan, you saw it all, is damaged. Somebody hit it, but it was not leaking. The damage is very tiny, I will say, and it was pushed inside only a few millimeters. You can see the scrape. Somebody ran over the rock or something, right? So the damage seemed to me very small. I think I can reuse it. It will be fine and it will not affect correct function. Now I need to install these silver spacers. These are in this bag. You saw it in the kit. And basically I will go around, and they limit the squish, they limit how hard the pen is touching the body of the transmission. It's all in. Let's go and install it back. I have carefully already multiple times cleaned these surfaces where the gasket sits. So I'm ready to install it. I will repeat myself like a broken record, right? Hand only. I will not use power tools for this. It's no rush. You wanna rush these things. One day you will badly regret it, because if you strip these, and I was already fixing some on trannies, I had to refret some holes on the transmission body because somebody was in rush. It's just a waste of time. I will always try to prevent that. So, and I have all 8 of them, and I will basically follow the crisscross pattern. So very carefully, I rather go 6 times around than just once and bend that pen. So I always try to go the opposite side, right? That I will call crisscross, and multiple times around. That's the way I like it. I have that overflow tube in the pan, I didn't forget. Here is the drain plug with a new crush gasket. It's that 5. Again, common sense, it's there, it will not leak when I introduce the new fluid, but we will be opening for it for adjusting the level. Now it's the question, how much fluid in and how do you adjust the level?